All right. 3, 2. What's going on, everybody? And welcome to another episode of the Other Side of the Firewall podcast. We talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the. I messed that up. You know what? Because I was thinking about I have not messed up yet. I psyched myself out.
So good.
I saw you starting to. I saw you starting to smile in it, and I was like, "Is he going to bust out laughing?"
Because my brain was like racing, like.
It looked like you were going to bust out laughing. I was like, "Okay."
All right. 3, 2. What's going on, everybody? And welcome to another episode of the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And Levon Maynard.
Welcome to the show.
What is going on? So this is our Wednesday discussion episode, so please tune in throughout the week. Monday was a topic about Olympians and burner phones. Tuesday, we discussed a new panel being put together underneath DHS. Can't remember the name of the panel off the top of my head now. 15 board members.
I can't remember either.
Coming together.
Was it?
All right, they'll come back to me.
The Cybersecurity Review Board, I guess, right?
Yeah, the Cyber Safety Review Board. Oh man, I'm messing up all up in this episode. All right, so definitely listen to our opinions on that. I thought that was a really good episode. And then today is our discussion topic. And then tune in Thursday, please, where I talk to Alex Worsham, brilliant gentleman who's in IT right now. He's trying to move over to cybersecurity. So we have a 45-minute conversation. And then Friday, everything else. We talk about movies, books, TV shows, all that good stuff. But without further ado, I will bring up the article. So the article is on Gizmodo, and it is written by Lucas Ropik. It says, Gettr fired its entire cybersecurity team and never replaced them, former employee says. So Gettr is a social media application, kind of like a Facebook or Parler or whatever, where people can come out, speak their mind on Twitter. So this kind of surprised me. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good discussion, just to show how, like, we are always talking about how everything's on the come up, how the government is now more involved. They got the board, the cyber safety review board is on its way. You got CISA out there helping companies get their stuff together. You got Palo Alto, Microsoft, Google, everybody's doubling down on security. And then you have this team was fired back in December of last year on the 28th, where they laid off their entire cybersecurity team and IT staff, and apparently has not replaced them since that time, according to a former employee who spoke to the Washington Examiner. I don't know the outlet, but they were purged basically to save money is the big deal, right? So it wasn't because they made a mistake. It wasn't because of whatever. So as we know, cybersecurity is not cheap. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to actually protect your stuff, it does cost money. It is an investment. I don't even know. I don't have a question to ask. Like, how do you feel about about this? How do you feel about this direction that their CEO or CTO decided to go?
So we've had this before. So they don't have a CIO anymore because he got canned too, right? So
yeah,
their CIO and their CISO, was it, or who was it? Their CISO?
Yeah, their CISO was also
cut. Yeah, their CISO got cut too, right? So we've talked about this in the past. This is not where you want to save money. So like, this is one of those things where it comes down to a decision from a CEO. And in the article, they reference the big financial backer. I don't recall his name off the top of my head. It was a Chinese man. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they're saying that it came down from him. So it became a money play, right? Because he's this millionaire or billionaire over in China that pretty much seeded this, right? I don't know why this is where you cut if you are in the IT business. Like you said, this is like a Twitter alternative, right? Like, it's a social media type thing where this is your wheelhouse, to where you should have said, okay, let's cut somewhere else, right? Right. I don't understand the logic behind this and why you would do this, right? This is only going to cost you more in the long run. And there's there's so many cases of that being the case out there right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't understand it, and maybe because I am cybersecurity, and maybe because I'm not a social media guy, right? So like for me, I'm like, okay, I don't understand the need for social media anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Like it's something I would go without, but you should protect it, right? And I'm in the cybersecurity game, so
Yeah.
why? I don't understand why this is always where people cut, right? Like it why is this the easiest thing? And again, like maybe if you were I can't even say maybe if you were selling something, because if you're going to sell something online, you'd still need some type of cybersecurity, right? You're still dealing with the internet.
Right.
I just I can't wrap my head around why this is where they choose to go with this.
Yeah.
This
And
doesn't
it's a
make sense.
matter of public trust on top of it, right? Like you have people who are speaking their mind, whether you agree with what they're saying or not, that their freedoms are not being protected in that regard, right? It just needs one person who does not like that application to go in there and just like dox everybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like put all their social information out there. What about you, Levon? How you feel about this?
Yeah, I agree with what you guys are saying. I mean, it's one of those things that obviously it's there's no reason why you should be focusing your attention on the cyber team when you're trying to cut cost. It sounds like, I was looking through the article that potentially that they had. And I'm trying to see, like, it seems like the article is kind of mixed a little bit, that hey, they're noticing a upturn in like user base or whatever. They're having like a higher utilization within their application, but they're like running out of money, or they have a funding issue. They're not getting enough. They have rapid growth, but paired with oblique funding problems. So it's like they're growing
Right.
rapidly, but they're also like not able to support it, I guess. I don't know if they don't have enough servers. Maybe they're trying to spend money on infrastructure and try more systems that can handle the influx of users.
Yeah, I
But
was gonna say they're spinning up more VMs and they just can't handle the amount of traffic. And
right,
I'm speculating here. I don't know. I've never been to the site, but maybe they also have issues finding advertisers. So because it may lean one way or the other, so maybe they're not getting
right.
money. You know, what I mean, rate of return is not where they thought it would be. I don't know
That's a
though.
good point. And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna say the elephant in the room, but this is more of like the app is known for being more far right leaning, I guess. And there may be some concerns with some people whether or not they want to support, just like you mentioned with the um, some of the things that's been going on in the news, that maybe some companies may have whatever reason they don't want to put their advertisements on there. They don't have as much funding to use that to build out the infrastructure to support all the fan base that's actually logging in.
Right.
But yeah, it's very interesting. It's something that I would never expect a company to like use that as the main point of money saving to, like, especially as of lately, as we've been seeing all these cybersecurity incidents. And then we have, like, from our like last episode where we talked about Biden administration kind of focuses on cybersecurity. It's almost like a spit in the face of that cyber group to say, like, hey, we're going to do the opposite. We're not going to worry about the cyber part of it as much, and we're going to focus on our developers and admin folks that are working on the app itself. And yeah, I guess we have to see. I mean, we'll find out soon enough over the course of the next year what result this has. And I know that I think either this site and I think some other ones that are very similar to this have been attacked before, and they already had cybersecurity related incidents. So this is already going to make them more of a target, and we have to see what happens from that.
So Brian, to on something that you said, right? Like I think it's a lack of advertisement as well, right? Is why they're in this boat. But here's my thinking behind this, right? If you believe in the service that you are providing, now granted, all these other ones are free, right? Twitter, your Facebook, all that stuff is free. I'm guessing, right? Because I'm not the social media guy,
Right. Well, so you are the product, right? They're selling your data is what keeps them, moving.
But I'm not paying them for something every month, right?
No,
I'm not paying them something like
that.
Yeah,
there's no subscription or anything like that. No.
Right. So my thinking is that if you believe you are providing a product that is wanted, that is out there that people need, let's say, right? What's wrong with charging $5 a month? Now, granted, that's not the successful business model when it comes to Meta or you know, Instagram or any of these other social media sites out there, but
Right.
um, this is a site that kind of advertise like, hey, we are a little different from what is already out there, right? Like we are a platform for you to come and talk on different ways and say different things. What's wrong with
Yeah.
charging $5 a month, right? Now, again, that's not the business plan for all these other companies, but you're not trying to be like these other companies anyway. And if you're not getting the ads that you need, if you believe you are providing a good service, why is that? Why is that not the way you go? I would think you would charge the $5 a month to somebody to be a subscriber
Mhm.
to your service, then go without your IT department when you are all out there on the world wide webs for everybody to see. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like you are a
That's
threat.
right.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they ran the numbers and they will lose a certain amount of fan base. Because why hasn't Facebook charged me yet? Because I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, they said they'd probably make about $12 a day per person off advertisements. So you are only worth $12. But when you add everybody together, obviously it's billions of dollars are being made on a daily or weekly or whatever basis. So maybe like because I'm not a finance guy, right? I've never owned a business that does what they're doing. Like maybe they ran the numbers and they were like, listen, we can't lose that many subscribers if we charge them. Because like if Facebook starts charging, guess who ain't on Facebook? Me. Like
Mm.
I ain't paying for that. Like, T-Mobile better pay for it. I'm not paying for Facebook. But maybe they were like, so in the interim, what we can do is we can try to cut some departments to keep the people and wait for advertisers to come back or whatever they make their money on. And this whistle got blown a little too early. They're like, oh, nobody will notice for a couple months, and we can bring somebody back on. Uh, and now it's been blown, so they need to hurry up and staff. Because just not having an IT department itself, like what happens if something breaks? Like who's there to fix it? Are you just contracting people out? And then cybersecurity, obviously, um, all social media websites field cyber attacks on a regular basis. Like what happens if they got DDoSed over Christmas? You know what I mean? Like who would have been there to get them back up? I don't know. Like they run it on a prayer right now.
That's a good, yeah,
Well,
good analogy.
you say somebody ran the numbers, but they probably fired those accountants too. So you know,
Everybody got to
Right.
go. Like, hey, we just gonna keep the lights on, get this
Yeah.
money real quick. So we need to go spin these VMs down, and it's a wrap. Yeah, I really don't know. Like, just I'm interested in to see how long it's going to take before people's information starts to leak or before disinformation. You know what I mean? Like some like heavy left leaning stuff is put on the website or something like that. Like I'm not in the whole politics of it. Like I think everybody should have the freedom to say whatever they need or want to say and what have you. But you got to protect it. Like if you're going to allow these people to put their thoughts on the internet and they may not be what people want to hear or see, you got to protect them. Like now, these people have the ability to come after you when their stuff gets leaked. You know what I mean? Like this is going to cause some financial drama if they were to get breached. And you do you have insurance? Like we talked about cybersecurity insurance. Like if I was a company, I wouldn't cover you. You fired your IT department. Like you ain't getting a payout. That's not going to happen. So this can end very poorly for them. So hopefully, uh, hackers are being nice. They're like, no, man, we ain't gonna attack you.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I question that too, because like, you know, as people are not going to be nice because of even what the site may stand for or whatever. Some people may or may not
Right.
like it. They're going to use that as a reason to try to go after it. And hey, you know, and this is not a political show. I can really dive into, you know, my thoughts on the whole thing, but we'll just leave that for another day.
Right. But yeah, it's just I just think it's just bad for business regardless. Like no matter
Yeah.
what your leaning is or whatnot, like I'm just gonna get rid of everybody. Like can't get
Yeah.
that. They couldn't have gotten rid of there's at least one man or woman, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in a room. Just
so what they could have done, is they could have had while that IT department was there, which it doesn't go into how long Well, no, it did. It did mention they only had them for like 3
December
months,
28th.
something like that.
Yeah.
No. But the department was only they had only hired the people on for 3 months or something like that.
Oh,
It said
see,
no.
I didn't pick up that part.
I,
Okay, so it's
I,
contractual, and they just didn't bring them back.
well, no. What I'm saying is that what could have happened is that the people got there. They got their SOPs down. They did all this stuff
Yeah,
to say, hey, this is our book on what we need to do, right? Um, and then what probably happened after that was when the book was created, they were like, hey, here's the guide on what we'll do in this instance, and this instance, right?
right,
And they were like, hey, thank you for this. This is property of Gettr now, and you guys are gone. So we'll hand it to so and so here, right? Because you got all this stuff written down on what needs to be
right.
done. So now we have the janitor, you know what I mean, as our IT guy or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So that could, I mean, that's not too
Yeah,
far fetched to think, right? Think about it, right? Like in the military, that was something we did, right? We had continuity books. You know what I'm saying? For stuff that we
right,
need
right.
to do.
Disaster preparedness, business
Yeah,
continuity, like all that stuff has to be drafted.
yeah.
Perhaps because it doesn't go into like Getter didn't respond in this article. Like maybe they outsourced. Maybe they did find a way. Like okay, all this stuff is made, it's robust, and what have you. Cut that department, give it to company X, which will do it for a third of the price. And this employee just is not aware of that. So maybe they do have somebody staffed up virtually, but it's just nobody in the on premise doing stuff. Who's to say?
It's where the VCISOs come in, right?
I guess like that would be, but that's not cheap. Like so, I would have to see how much you were paying before. Like how much money did you just save by giving all these people? Like it has to be significant for you to downgrade so abruptly. Like because you have a VCISO on deck. You can have some outsourced company handling your IT. You could pay the premium to have like an AWS or whatever, or an Azure, or like just give it to them. Like, hey, we want you to do everything. What is that? Platform as a
I
service or
think.
software as a service?
Well,
Platform as a service, I think.
yeah, I think when this company stood up, though, because the company was, I was familiar with the company. I think this is one of the ones that stood up that nobody wanted to take them on. So like Microsoft said no, Amazon said no, like
Oh, okay.
nobody wanted to host them, and I think it was
Mhm.
like a Russian-based company or something like that that decided to put them on. I think.
Got you. So
But
I don't know.
that could have been that could have been Parlor, maybe. Now that I think about it, maybe it was Parlor, but there
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
one that like the big companies, the big dogs in the game were like, nah, we're not hosting you. Like if you want to do this, that, and
That's
the
right.
third,
Right.
because it was after one of these attacks where somebody was on, was it like 4chan or 8chan or something like that? And then they
Hmm.
were putting all this stuff out there. Neither here nor there. I think
Right.
the big companies were like, nah, we ain't messing with you. So like they
Right.
had
And
to get
then
funding from somebody else that came in, which I think was this investor, this Chinese investor, that was like, yeah,
right.
I'll stand it up for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it sounds like it could be lucrative, right? Like all these people want to voice their opinions and nobody wants to let them. So I will provide the platform to let them, but then you have to get your money back. Like, so that's very difficult in that
Yeah, they're
circumstance.
definitely not doing it out of the kindness of their heart. This guy is in it to make money. Like I'm not just hosting.
Yeah. He ran the numbers. He was like, yeah, I'll this could be, the next Twitter or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm interested to see how the fallout, like, because they have to respond. They have to be like, because they have clientele, they have to be like, no, you are safe because of X. Um, so that should hopefully roll out next couple weeks, or they uh, pay the price, and everything gets shut down because they've been breached, they've been shut down, they've been DDoSed or what have you, and then we see that fall out. And like, okay, yeah, they never did staff up in any regard. So interesting. So more to come. More to come. I definitely want to follow this. It was a very good discussion, though. I greatly appreciate it. So definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. Again, Monday and Tuesday are topics, Wednesdays discussion, Thursdays Ask Us SP, and then Fridays everything else. So definitely tune in for all that good information. Hit up the website www.theothersideofthefirewall.com. Get to all of our social medias. Give me a personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and Clubhouse.
Clubhouse.
And you, Levon? Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
And you,
Yeah.
Levon, where can we
Can't forget
find
the
you?
clubhouse. That's right. You can hit me up on the Twitters at Levon Maynard.
There it is. Stay safe, stay secure.
Take care.